What's up, you guys? It's your boy TheGoulGuy, back at you guys yet again with another video. Today we are doing a video showcasing a team for the Fossil Cup. Yes, the Fossil Cup, the new Fossil Cup that actually just went up for this season. I want to say just went up. It literally has been out for, I want to say, a day or two so far. But we have a team consisting of Ferrothorn, Jellicent, and as well as Poliwrath. Now, before we get into it, of course, we're going to showcase the different IVs of everything and also the move sets that we have. Ferrothorn, my great league Ferrothorn. We have Bullet Seed, as well as we have Thunder, and as well as Power Whip. Really good IVs on the Ferrothorn as well, which is very nice, very nice. Also, we got the Jellicent here. The Jellicent is dang near a hundo, which is crazy to use in a great league, but it's a 98%. It's one of the only ones I have, so we're gonna use it. We're using Hex, Surf, and Shadow Ball. Jellicent is an amazing Pokemon for the Fossil Cup. Definitely recommend using it for the Fossil Cup. And of course, we have Poliwrath, probably the most used in this cup. Poliwrath is gonna have Counter, Dynamic Punch, and Icy Wind. Dynamic Punch is gonna be amazing for any of the Iron Pokemon that we come against, the Steel Pokemon that we come against, whether that be a Ferrothorn or a Registeel, which is very prominent in the Fossil Cup. But before we get into it, but we're about to get into it right now. Let's go. But yes, this team worked out amazing for me in the Fossil Cup. Ferrothorn is so good, so versatile in terms of usage within the Fossil Cup as well. First match here, we got Ferrothorn versus the Pelipper, which is going to be a very good game for us. Very good start to our game here. We're going to be able to hit it with a Thunder. Let's see if we can get it off, or if they shield. Let's see what happens here. In this game, I know for sure I mess up a little bit here. Watching it again, let's see what I do wrong. Alright. So I'm assuming that they're going to be using a Hurricane, so that's why I'm going to shield here, which they do end up using a Hurricane, which is very nice. So nice shield on my end. We're going to be using a Thunder. Let's see if we get this Thunder off yet again, or if they use a shield again. Let's see what happens here. Yep, they use another shield, which is fine with me. We're going to be able to try to get to another Thunder. They are about to hit us with another charge move. Now, I should have in my head thought, okay, they did not charge up enough to get to another Hurricane, and that definitely was just a bait move, a Weather Ball, and I should have just held off using my shield. Unfortunate on my part. So I ended up switching to the Jellicent, trying to catch the Hurricane if he had another Hurricane on the way, which I probably should have waited and used another Thunder, but unfortunately I did not do that. So now we have a unfortunate unfortunate matchup with Jellicent and Ludicolo anyway. I probably could have hit him with the Surf, but unfortunately that probably wouldn't have done that much damage, but it would have at least chipped him. Unfortunately, I did not do that. So we are going to go back with the Ferrothorn, finishing off the Ludicolo, but I don't have enough energy enough to hit this Escavalier, if I can even pronounce it correctly. And I couldn't switch over to my Poliwrath, because Poliwrath is definitely going to be a better matchup for the Escavalier, even though Escavalier, some people with Escavalier do have Aerial Ace, which is also very unfortunate for me, but they end up switching into the Pelipper, which is going to finish me off most likely with a Hurricane. There it is, and the one-hit KO, unfortunately, for the first match. But we are going to be moving on to the next one. Alright, so I had to switch my battery out. Sorry if the angle of the camera looks a little different than just a second ago. But anyway, going on to the next match. Of course, the first match didn't go as well, but let's see if we can correct it into the second match. Let's see what we got. We are going against Wumbung. Did I say it, pronounce it right? I'm not sure. But anyway, we have a matchup against Magnezone, Shadow Magnezone, Ferrothorn versus Shadow Magnezone. It's going to be a pretty neutral matchup between, well, pretty non-effective neutral matchup between each other. We're not going to be doing that much damage to each other. Wild Charge still does a good amount of damage, but we do get to Thunder before they get to their Wild Charge. Let's see if we can get to another Thunder before they can, but unfortunately they cannot, or we cannot anyway. They're going to be hitting us with a Wild Charge. We are not going to be using a shield here. Wild Charge taking us down to yellow, which is very unfortunate. But I switched to the Poliwrath just quick enough to where I can farm down the Magna Zone before it gets to another charge move, which is very great for me. We're going to be using an Icy Wind onto this Mantine. Mantine, of course, is going to be super effective against my Poliwrath using Wing Attack. We are not going to be using a shield here, just because it's just going to be an uphill battle just trying to fight the Mantine against the Poliwrath, especially not taking that much damage to the counter. But we do survive a Wing Attack, which is amazing. We're going to be able to hit it with another Icy Wind, which is going to take away a lot of its attack power, which is going to be very nice. They choose not to shield, which is great for me. Alright, so we both have 2 shields, and we both have 2 Pokemon here. Now, the Mantine is double debuffed, and the Ferrothorn is not going to take that much damage from Aerial Ace. Did I say Wing Attack before? My bad. Aerial Ace. Now, they're going to be hitting us with another Wing Attack now, or Aerial Ace, which is going to definitely take us out, so we're going to block this one here. And then we are going to try to get to this Thunder. Going to farm just a little bit. Oh, actually, okay, so I use Power Whip here, which is actually the better play since I have 2 built up, just in case there's another water type in the back. So let's see what we got here. And they switch over to the Jellicent. I was thinking maybe I'll be able to get to the Power Whip. I'm just going to save that in the back. We switch over to the Jellicent. Now, with the Jellicent, we're definitely going to have to block this because this could potentially be a Shadow Ball, which it definitely is. It would be unfortunate if they did bait us, which we are actually going to do right here. We're going to be using a Surf to dupe the other Jellicent into thinking we're going to be using a Shadow Ball here. Let's see what they do. They do shield, which is nice. We're going to be using a Shadow Ball again here. Now, I do not know if they use both their shields here or not, but I believe they think that we have another Surf, and boom, we one-hit KO the Jellicent, which is very nice. We won our second match. But yes, as I said, Jellicent's really good. Ferrothorn is just super balanced within, and Poliwrath is just a much need Pokemon you need in the Fossil Cup. Like, almost everybody has a Poliwrath in the Fossil Cup. It's pretty much one of the #1 Pokemon to use in the Fossil Cup, just because of the fact that there's so many Rock type, so many Steel type. You pretty much have a good balance of a lot of things. Also, it's able to use ice moves. Is pretty crazy. First opponent using Lantern, they switch into their Ferrothorn. We switch into our Poliwrath. This is what this team is pretty much made for, to counter the counters, right? So Lantern, of course, is not going to be good for Ferrothorn is going to be good for Lantern. They switch into the Ferrothorn, which we switch into our Poliwrath. Counter is going to do a lot of damage to the Ferrothorn, and we're going to be able to build up to our Dynamic Punch. The reason why we have Dynamic Punch in here, so we can KO the Ferrothorn, which we just did there, which is very nice. We're going to try to get to this Dynamic Punch onto the Lantern, do a good amount of damage at least to the Lantern before we switch back out into the Ferrothorn. Let's see if they shield it. They do not, which is a-okay with me. We're going to be taking the Thunder. I believe that they're going to be hitting us with here, which is going to be a-okay. The Thunderbolt. We switch into our Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn is going to be good for this, and then they switch into their Poliwrath. But before they switch into their before we switch into our Jellicent, we're going to be using a Power Whip. See if they shield this. They sure do. We switch into the Jellicent. Jellicent is going to be non-effective to the counter damage, which is going to be very nice. Now we're just going to be susceptible. Am I saying that right? We're basically going to be getting hit with the Icy Wind spam, which is going to be fine with us. That means we're not going to be we're going to be safe not using our shields anyway. We're going to be taking a little damage. Of course, we're going to be getting very much debuffed here, but that is fine. Our main objective is just trying to get the Poliwrath out of there so we can use the Ferrothorn to finish off that Lantern in the back. But let's see if we can get to another Shadow Ball. We sure do. Shadow Ball incoming. Mind you, I believe we still have one more shield left, which is still very nice to have. Alright, they are out of shields, which is very great for me. They switch into the Lantern. We end up using our Shadow Ball onto the Lantern. Instead of switching to the Ferrothorn, might as well just use the Shadow Ball on the Lantern, finish off the Lantern. And then let's see if we can get to another Shadow Ball before the Poliwrath gets us Icy Wind. Unfortunately, we do not, but that is actually fine with me. Icy Wind coming in, finishing off the Jellicent. And then Ferrothorn should be able to, if not get the Power Whip, literally farm it down. We're going to block this Dynamic Punch, which I believe they do have. There it is, Dynamic Punch. That is the importance of keeping your shields. We end up farming down the Poliwrath, and there it is. But yes, love this team so far. Very much love this team. The unfortunate part of the Fossil Cup, it's a very niche cup. You do tend to see a lot of the same Pokemon over and over and over again, which is great for some if they want to climb, because you know you get to like really get used to the opponent's Pokemon and everything like that. You could climb up very easily. But for some people that are like they've been playing PvP for a while, I can understand them being very tired of these kind of cups. They're very niche cups anyway, where essentially you're just using the same Pokemon over and over again, and it can get repetitive, very boring, very quick. But anyway, very good lead here. We got Ferrothorn versus what's the pre-evolved form of a Swampert? I forgot what it's called. What is it called? Marshtomp. Anyway, we take the Mud Bomb. Mud Bomb does a good amount of neutral damage here. We're going to be hitting it with the Power Whip. Power Whip, one hit KOs the Marshtomp, which is very dope. They switch into their Magcargo. We switch into our Poliwrath. They switch into their Bronzong. Which of course Confusion is going to do a good amount of damage to our Poliwrath, going to be super effective. We're going to be using a Dynamic Punch. They end up blocking our Dynamic Punch, which they do respect it. It is a-okay because we do get a shield off at least of them. Now, I'm thinking in my head, do I want to switch to the Ferrothorn or do I want to switch to the Jellicent? I forgot they do still have the Magcargo in the back, so we're going to switch into the Ferrothorn. Might as well switch into the Ferrothorn. But I do forget they have Bulldoze. I could have, I almost was just going to let that like go, but I forgot they had Bulldoze, so we use a shield there. We're going to be using a Thunder here to take out the Beldum, or Bronzong. I keep saying Beldum. We're going to shield this one again because this one could be another Bulldoze, and it is another Bulldoze. So we don't take those. We're going to switch over to the Jellicent. Once they switch back to their Magcargo, they're going to be able to get a charge move off, which I believe is Rock Tomb. It's either Rock Tomb or something else. Let's see. Yep, it's Rock Tomb there. We're going to be able to use Surf here. I believe we're going to be able to spam Surfs way faster than they're going to be able to use their Rock Tombs. They just had some charge energy built up from the last Pokemon match that we just had. So we're going to be able to get off 2 Surfs, exhausting both of his shields here. And yep, and we're going to be able to take out the Magcargo next move. Let's see if the Jellicent can take whatever move it throws at us, which I believe, oh, okay, it's Overheat. Jellicent's still able to hold on. Unfortunately, I could not farm it down. But with the Ferrothorn, we should be able to Bullet Seed it down, and that is GG's. Good game. But yeah, that was a close one. That was a close one. But Jellicent's pretty bulky, super bulky Pokemon, as well as Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn is super bulky as well. And then with Poliwrath just being such an attack monster, you know, it's just such a good like mix of Pokemon here. Alright, another good lead here. We got Ferrothorn versus the Jellicent. Let's see if they switch. They do. They end up switching into their own Ferrothorn. We switch into our Poliwrath. One thing I will say, I think I should switch into the Poliwrath a lot faster when they switch into the Ferrothorn. That's one thing I end up like not doing as much in this, I notice with some of my games. But I do end up switching into the Poliwrath. We're going to be using Dynamic Punch. Let's see if they respect it, and let's see if they shield. Let's see what happens here. And they do end up shielding, which is fine with me. We're going to be end up shielding again here. I think I was thinking not to shield, but I'm like, nah, we're going to shield because Poliwrath could be used in any other situation potentially, and I have so much health on the Poliwrath. I was thinking to myself, like, will I be able to survive it, and let alone will I use Poliwrath in the next one. Also, looks like we are able to get another shield off on the Ferrothorn, which is fine with me. So it's okay if we lose the Poliwrath here, because we both now have no shields, which is okay with me. We're going to be able to farm down the Ferrothorn with our Ferrothorn with the Bullet Seed. And now we have a lot more energy for our Ferrothorn here. We're going to farm up just a little bit here, get to our Thunder. Thunder is going to do a good amount of neutral damage to the Registeel. Now what I try to do here, I try to catch the I try to catch the Registeel. Oh my god, brain fart. I try to catch the Registeel using Focus Blast on the Jellicent. Unfortunately, I do not catch it. So they end up using Volt Switch? They use an electric type move on my Jellicent. Of course, I lose all my energy there, unfortunately. And then they switch over to their Jellicent, which ends up KOing me, but not before I end up taking a lot of their health out, which is very nice. Now we end up farming this Jellicent to get as much energy as we can, because we're gonna have to use as much energy as we can to get that Registeel down. Now I forgot you can't charge up two Thunders, so I just kept spamming it just to try to see if I can get another Thunder, but I can't, unfortunately. But looks like one more Thunder is all I need to actually KO the Registeel, and looks like we do get to the Thunder in time before it's able to get to a Focus Blast, which would have definitely KO'd the Ferrothorn, and we win that match. But yes, there's a lot of things I probably could have done differently there to make that a little less uncomfortable, but we still end up winning that, and we ended up winning 4 out of the 5 matches that we got there. But yes, this team is very amazing, very awesome. I know I am not like the one that actually made this team. There's been a couple of people sharing like a lot of the good teams for Fossil Cup. I just ended up picking up this team from, like, I believe some of the top players in PvP right now. And I've tried a couple of different teams with Lucario and with Pelipper and everything like that, and nothing's really like stuck with me or has been like super comfortable like with playing with, you know, the team and anything like that. But this team specifically seems to do very well in this cup, so definitely highly recommend this team. Yes, it is a stolen team, but it is a very good team in this league. Definitely highly recommend this team. But let me know what you guys think of this team in this video in the comments down below. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel. As I said, it helps the channel grow and everything like that. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.